feel like you saw that competitive level that you were looking for?
Much better. Part of what we're trying to do is do it consistently over and over and over. We played about 38 minutes of good basketball. At the end of that first half, second quarter, they finished on a 10-0 run, and then I'm not sure what was going on at the start of the third quarter. But outside of that, those two stretches, I thought we played much better.
You would be among the more qualified people in the world to kind of take us through Vanderbilt's shot, and just it just looks a little cleaner from a layman's perspective, and the release and all that, and just added with how he looks physically and defensively, all the stuff that you know he can do. Does that make you think even a little bit more about, all right, maybe you could find some more minutes for him, or not find, but you almost have to consider?
People are going to earn minutes. I think that goes for everybody. I've been very impressed by just the amount of work that he's done this summer on his game, and obviously his body is significantly better than this time last year, or even when the season ended. He's moving better. His handle is tighter. I'd never have ever seen him make a Euro D-cell finish. It's good. He's been working on his game, and the shot is sort of the big thing with him. If he can be a consistent three-point shooter for us, that unlocks a lot.
Sticking with Vando, he made a corner three. He had another one that he missed, but he gave it a shot to make it. And obviously, he filled the stat sheet all over the place. I know you told us you don't really care about the starting lineup, and it's not something that you're spending a ton of time considering. But is there a consideration for him with the starting group?
Again, I said that we started 24 lineups last year. The team that started, or the lineup that started the season for us, started 8 games together, and we made a change. So I'm of course open to things, of course, and like I said, everything's going to have to be earned.
JJ, when this team signed Gabe Vincent, he was coming off a stretch where he was pretty on the ball as a scorer in Miami. He's been asked, whether through injury or happenstance, to kind of play a different role. Are there ways to kind of lean into some of his strengths on the ball, even though you have Austin and Luka and LeBron? And do you think, he had mentioned to us that like the adjustment to moving off the ball it's a big one for him. How have you kind of seen him handle that shift?
Gabe and I have talked about it a ton, and whether he likes a role, doesn't like a role, you're going to get the same version of him every single day. I like, tonight was an example, but I just like the pace that he plays with. Chase action, coming off pick and roll, like he just has a natural way of moving with urgency, and we for sure need that, and we'll continue to look at ways to allow him to play to his strengths.
Is that, I mean, this is probably a big picture, but is that the challenge, that taking somebody who would be, in rhythm when they get 10 or 11 shots, and finding a way for them to feel like they're in rhythm when they get 30% of that or 40% of that?
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Again, we've talked about it. I lived it as a player, so I can relate to it. It's hard, but I just, having that guy in our locker room, again, another night where I thought his leadership was very obvious. He's a valued member of our team, regardless of whatever the on or off ball role is.
You were pretty high on Jake signing. What has he shown you in these 2 first preseason games, but not only in the games, but also in practice?
I think it's just, for him continuing, he's done a lot of work since Summer League to get in better shape, and he's still got a little bit of ways to go there. But he's incredibly versatile, and he does a lot of things really well. I think at times tonight got a little sped up, trying to do too much, I guess, but that's not the role he's going to have for us. He's certainly can play some on the ball as an initiator and secondary creator. I like his activity level, and I think as he continues to get into the type of shape that we're all going to be in, that activity level will just increase.
You mentioned pregame and you wanted to see the bigs use their mobility more, get out on the perimeter more defensively. How'd they do on that today?
Well, we gave up a Steph Curry 3 because Draymond had the ball and we were all the way back. So it was better. I thought both games, Christian was really good. It wasn't as obvious, at least live, that they weren't up. Obviously, the film will tell the truth.